Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren Stone. My husband Jason and I are converting our Ram ProMaster into our tiny home on wheels. So welcome. Today, this video is going to be all about our plumbing. It is probably the last biggest project that we have left on the van, and then everything else is gonna be final touches. So we've been working very diligently, and I say we, I mean Jason has been working very diligently on the plumbing while I have been putting my energy towards the house because it is official, our house is on the market. So I've had to do a lot of things, depersonalizing, decluttering, cleaning, putting the house on the MLS, all of this stuff. While I was doing that, Jason was working on the plumbing, so we've got a lot of it done so far, and we're hoping to have it done within the next day or two. So we will see if by the end of this video, we will have running water. First, what I'm gonna do is with Jason's help, because I don't have it all packed down, but I'll give you a little rundown of what our plumbing looks like so far and what the end-all product should look like in theory. So let's dive in. All right, so first off, we have this beautiful 34-gallon fresh water tank. It goes over the wheel well for the passenger side, as you can see. It originally was made to be able to attach directly to the van itself, like what are those called? Like the metal ribs, but ribs, is that what they're called? Yeah. Okay, the metal ribs. But we got this kind of after the fact, and now we're going to kind of create our own way to be able to attach it. It does also come with these, and it's also screwed in right here. But I have a full video that does an entire rundown about this water tank. So if you're interested, I will also link that in the description as well for you to take a look. But just as a general idea, the plan is that we have our 34-gallon freshwater tank that's going to hop, skip, and jump over here. Hi.
Hi.
That's gonna go to our faucet, and that is going to have both hot and cold water. We decided we are going to have hot water running from our sink. Inside, we've got our pump, we've got our accumulator, we got our Camplux, the water heater. Ta-da.
It's crooked.
Oh shoot. Can we push it back out?
Yeah. Hang on.
1 second. Okay, take two. So this is where we're going to hook in our hose for our outdoor shower. And basically the hose is gonna go connect here, and we're gonna get a little clip so that way we can put it right there to have the outdoor shower. So Jason's gonna have to help me get into more of like the nitty gritty pieces of it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm here.
All right, he's here, he's ready. We're gonna show you pretty much how we've done it. Now, I'd like to note that we are not professional plumbers.
Nope.
So take that with a grain of salt. We haven't done a test run yet as I'm recording this to see if there's any leaks, to make sure that it actually works. So you might want to like stick around and see what that's all gonna look like.
You ready?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was gonna be on TV.
You're famous.
Talk about the water?
Yeah.
Okay. When we fill the tank, we're gonna be using just a traditional garden hose. And we'll screw it on here. This will open and close, right, if we need to. But because everything about the tank is going to be closed and sealed off, we also added a vent so that as it's filling with water or it's losing water, the pressure will release or fill up, like as need be. So this is just a little vent that we screwed into the top and sealed off. And then we're gonna plug any extra holes. So we'll actually legit plug those. Right now it's just a temporary plug. And then at the very bottom, due to gravity, we'll have the fresh water from the 34-gallon tank headed out. We installed like a stop valve. If we need to do any work, we can shut that off right there. Or if we need to pull it out and clean it or whatever we need to do. And then this freshwater tank outlet will run all the way down into the cabinet, into the sink and everything. And we have a 2x4 that we're gonna be putting underneath here to support. We'll be connecting this in place after we secure it. You can show what we actually did here.
How did you mark your wood down there?
Where?
Is this video?
Yeah, it's okay though.
Talk.
Yeah.
I Measure from here up the floor and from back here.
Check it out.
What?
I'm just gonna talk to the camera. So we have a PEX line running through here. We're gonna wrap this around and go underneath our drawers. And we're gonna bring that where our hot water heater is going to be, and our water pump, and our accumulator, our filter, and we're gonna send it out to the shower. We'll get to that. So, we're gonna drill the first hole underneath here though. This is like the scariest cut for me. I don't know why. These paddle bits?
I love them, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, dude, paddle butts are good.
Why? Why do you like them so much?
They go straight through and you go slow.
I know, that's what
So
I
don't
found.
rip the wood.
That's what I learned the hard way.
Nice.
We did it! Okay. Like a glove.
That's fine.
What's that?
We're good.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, here goes nothing. I'm through. This one's all clear.
Okay.
Ouch! Ooh! Did you just bump your head?
Okay. No, I'm good.
So the electricity from the water pump and the hot water heater and all that will be running through underneath the drawers into the back garage area. The tank water will be running from the tank up into the cabinet underneath the drawer. So the drawer is like right here. And so that's how we were able to get the water and the electricity in after we finished the walls.
I also want to say that we got really, really lucky. Like, we didn't plan out the plumbing really at all during our build. We were just like, oh, we're gonna figure it out as we go along. But we just so happened to have under the drawer just enough space to be able to fit all of our wiring and our pipes and everything that's like back against the wall as well. So it was just like really just pure luck on that. We didn't plan out any measurements.
But when you follow the freshwater tank to the front,
All right, I'm gonna come around this way.
meet me in the front.
Meet you in the front.
So we saw the freshwater tank line go underneath the drawer in the back, and it's entering the cabinet here underneath the faucet. Pre-traditional lineup is this strainer or filter, a water pump, and then an accumulator. So this will clear out any debris before it hits the water pump, and the water pump will continue to push it through the line. This balances so you don't get a bunch of bubbles and all that. It just comes in here, it fills up, and then it is a balanced stream that heads out from here. And what we used was PEX, 1/2 inch PEX that runs throughout. So once it leaves the accumulator, it splits. So we put a T in, and some of the fresh water drops into our Camplux 4-gallon water heater, and some of the fresh water goes directly to our sink. So this line is going up to the faucet, and the water pump will just push it up to the faucet when we need it. So when it goes into the water heater, it drops in here, set the temperature to whatever we need it to, and then it leaves the hot water heater, and I put a T here as well. And so this is going to the shower behind the refrigerator, heading to the shower outlet, and then this is heading up to the faucet. So when you turn on the hot water up top, then this is heading up that way. We also installed valves on the Camplux. So we've got valves to shut off the water if we need to, for whatever reason. There's one on the hot and there's one on the cold. What you don't see is a gray water tank is going to drop right here.
Which is
So we have a
Right there.
5-gallon gray water tank that'll be fixed, ratchet strapped in place in front of our water heater. And the water, what we had to do with this thing that looks like a garbage disposal, a mini one, is we had to go from 1.5 inch down to the inlet on the 5-gallon gray water tank. And so this was going to come down, and we're going to attach it to the gray water tank. We were thinking that we were going to install a switch somewhere here for the water pump. Everything I read, I'll put this on me, about the pump is that it's self-priming, so it kicks on with the change of pressure. So I think it's when the pressure gets above 40 psi in the line, then I'm just praying, then the water pump should fire on. And so if we, in theory, release if we turn on the faucet then that will release the pressure and start pulling water, which should enable the water pump.
Which means no switch.
Which means no switch.
So
Option 2 would be our line is there, our electrical line, so we could run a switch if we need to, but I'm hoping that everything I read is good. Just thought I'd mention that too. This is PEX and how to connect it, basically. So these are the things you need. You've already seen these. This is the PEX connector thing, adapter.
yes.
And we need to put some tape on this.
That's that Teflon tape, right? That's what
this
that's
stuff.
called?
Teflon tape.
Okay.
PTFE thread tape. We got the blue monster because of the monster. That's why I picked it out. So for this, it doesn't matter which direction you're going because there are no threads. If there are threads, you just want to be mindful of going the opposite direction of the threads.
Oh, you go, oh, okay.
So I do like 3 of these. That's pretty sufficient. And then you just pull it off and flatten it out. Nice. So you don't want to get in the way of this because it'll really mess up the water flow. That's pretty much it. Okay, and then the thing that I forget all the time is before you connect this, you need to get one of these in place. This is the fancy one that we have.
Okay.
Basically.
Is this like a clamp?
Yes, this is a clamp. And so this goes here. The other kind, and for your reference and anybody else you share this with, this is the other one. So this uses a Phillips screwdriver to tighten it up. Luckily, I had 2 of these when I forgot to put the clamp on first. So these are different because you can unscrew the flathead all the way and then open it and close it. But the fancy ones use a tool, and you can tell you can't pull it apart and wrap it around the pipe afterwards if you forget. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
So then that goes in here. If you've done it right, you may need to warm up this pipe so that it flexes enough to get on here. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm just going to use a lighter to do that. Okay. So you just warm it up a little. And then this will slide in all the way, like that. Once that's in there, then you get your tool. Where is it? You take the little teeth that are right here. You open it up on this thing. This little metal piece that's right here. And you bite down on it.
I'll give you some space.
Okay. But that's it. You bite down on it. And I've been doing like 2 or 3 clicks. You'll see what I mean. There's one. And there's 3.
Nice.
That's it.
Easy peasy.
So, the freshwater tank coming from the back is completely connected now to our Camplux.
Yay! So the next one then would be the hot water.
Did this one already. I did this one already. Yeah, so the hot water, I'm gonna drop it in like this.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that same process, but
Nice. So the other part that I think that we should share about is why we went with the Camplux Electric Water Heater. Because we've had a lot of discussions about whether or not we wanted to use propane or we wanted to use electric. I personally felt some kind of way about using propane in our van. It made me nervous. I didn't love that. But also, the electric water heaters we've also read are just not necessarily, like the affordable ones I should say, are not necessarily meant for like constant movement. They're just meant to be stationary under your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink, not in a vehicle that's constantly moving around. So while we have heard that, we have figured out ways to stabilize it the best that we can. So really we're just kind of test it and see how it goes. But so far,
I think that's it. We got that.
yeah, I think that's that.
As I'm turning it on, you should feel air
Coming out of this.
coming out of that. And then the valve down here is closed at the moment.
I'm nervous.
I know, me too. Worst case scenario is we just take it out. Pressure says about 40 right now.
Nothing's leaking so far. It's filling. It's not expanding. The pressure is at, what did you say, 40 psi on our pressure regulator. Here, actually, I'll show you. As you can see, we have this little pressure regulator, so it's a little bit hovering a little bit below 40. I don't even think we have it turned all the way. So I turned it off, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab like a little cup. So I'm gonna take this hose off. You know, it's a little over halfway.
Yeah, it's great.
That's enough for now, just to test it.
Yep.
Right, so it doesn't dry. Okay, great. So now, okay. We're gonna slowly open the valve. We're gonna check for leaks. If everything's good, I'm gonna stand by the sink, and then when you put the fuse in, I'm gonna just slowly open it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're doing. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it nice and slow, and then I can see if there's any leaks down here.
Yeah, so right now they're both off. All right, I'm gonna stick it in.
I'm gonna open it slowly.
It's definitely pulling water.
We have water.
Okay, you want to turn it off? It shut off. That's good. And it shut off. Is it leaking?
I don't know. I guess it's
Okay.
excited. There does look like there's a drip somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
It's on the accumulator.
I can address that in later.
The next step it said was to run the hot water. How much do I turn it?
All the way. Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, it's
all the way. It's exactly. Pressure is changing, so it's pulling from the pump, right?
Do I keep turning it?
All the way. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, why don't you do that one as well? Hang on. Let's shut that off because I want to think about it. Tank is not on. So when I open this, oh,
The inverter is not on.
okay. So the reservoir should be filled up. So the reservoir is full right now.
So now the reservoir is full.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the reservoir is full. Can you spray it? Yeah. That's it.
Wow. And check this out. Oops.
Oops.
We have water. Ah! This is
Okay.
all I wanted. We're going to Mexico.
Yeah, the
So
only...
now we just wait for it to heat up and see if it actually gets hot, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's another leak.
Crap. We got a few leaks we gotta fix.
Okay,
All right, so we officially have everything under here all set, ready to go. As you can see, our gray tank is taking water. We have this nice little quick connect, which is super easy. I can just do it with one hand. Lift up, we unstrap it, and then put it back on, ready to rock. We are gonna put some extra support beams on the side of each of these just to make sure they definitely don't go anywhere. And then the Camplux is connected to this strip in the back. We did have one minor leak situation. And when I say minor, it just didn't get on camera, but we had this lever was originally a plastic one. That was a bad idea. That exploded in Jason's face. Water kind of got everywhere. We had to redo it. So we now know that we no longer want to use any kind of plastic fittings. We're going to just stick with brass and whatever this metal one is in the future. So I turn on the water. That turns on the water pump because of the change in pressure. And then when I closed it, it turned it off and the water went down into our gray tank. Voila! And yes, we're aware that this, gravity, it wants to go straight down. This has to go around and up, but that's okay. There's gonna be a little bit of spillage, no big deal. That's pretty much it. Thankfully, no more leaks and the hot water runs out to our shower again. which is awesome. Oh, we got to screw that in. All right, and then we strapped in our gray tank. I don't know if you can see back there, but we put a D-hook there and then one on the other side. And then we have two 200-pound ratchet straps that are connected to each other to keep it in place. We have this that's gonna connect to the floor. We haven't strapped that in yet, but then we have this on top. And then we're gonna screw this down at the bottom, and then we'll see how it all, you know, feels when we drive around. As you can see, we have water in, which is super cool. But yeah, we're gonna see how it feels when we drive around. If we feel like we need to add some more support, we can. We can even do another strap around. All in all, it's hooked up. So this is something that I wanna like make very, very clear. I turned to like different Facebook groups, and those people were super helpful in like making all of this make sense for us. This freshwater tank needs air to go in and out. When you fill the tank up, air needs to come out. And when you take water out, air needs to go in. Initially, we had that Studer vent that was right here. We took it off and capped it because we realized that the Studer vent actually, its purpose was to let air in and not let air out, which was bad. And we realized when this started to expand as we were filling it, and we're like, oh crap, something's not right. So thankfully, people on Facebook, they gave us this idea to basically just use this as a vent, come all the way around, and it sticks up like so. And we'll probably like attach it here or attach it underneath just to make it nice and secure, because it's kind of loosey-goosey right now. Basically, that allows air to go out without sloshing around and spilling water everywhere when we're driving around. Because if we just had like a vent on top, say here, it's quite possible that while we're driving, you know, the water's sloshing and then water comes out. And then this can close off with the twist. I think it's that way. And then we'll have our hose just attached under here. Joop, joop, hello. And yeah, so that's like a really easy, simple way. We were so confused for so long. We were trying to figure out why this was happening, why the vent that we had wasn't working, and what would have been a good solution. So
It's good to air it out.
what's that again, babe?
A lot of pressure can be a real pain in the butt, and it's good to air it out.
It sure is. Whoosah. I cannot believe that the plumbing is done. We will say we did find, we're not sure if it's just like condensation or possibly a slight drip coming from the water pump just now. So we're gonna let it sit there. It could just be condensation. Praying that it is. Worst case, maybe it's just a screw that needs to be tightened. I don't know. But I mean, we have water. This has been like such a headache of a project over the last couple weeks. And now that we know and we understand and we've learned a lot, it doesn't seem as complicated, like kind of like the electric, right? It's like, it doesn't seem as daunting now that like we've actually done it. But in the beginning, it was kind of like, there was just so many different pieces. And then when the pipe exploded, then we had to fix that. And it was just like, it was just a really hard week. And if I'm honest, like my mental health definitely took a toll. I will say that. But doing all right. I'm really excited because my birthday's coming up in 2 weeks and we're gonna take Sam for an official test run through the Great Smoky Mountains. I am so excited. We got stand-up paddle boards. We're gonna take those out on the water. Like there's just no other way I would rather spend my 35th birthday. Like I'm just so excited. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this plumbing video has been helpful. If you have any questions about any part of our plumbing, electric, or really just any part of our van build, please feel free to comment. If you're new here, please subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. We're gonna be getting ready soon to take this on the road. So there's a lot more adventure to come. And I'm really grateful to have you all here to do this with me. It's been really, really cool getting to know so many people. And I just wanna say thank you so much. One of our viewers actually got us coffee, and that has never happened before. So thank you, Trini, so much. Jason and I went somewhere special to go get coffee, like one of our favorite spots, got a nice little fancy coffee since it was the first time that something like that happened. So thank you so much. It's just, this is so fun. I love doing this. I'm so grateful you're here. Stick around. We have so much more to do. Subscribe. And I guess until next time.